Picture yourself walking into a room full of strangers. Your heart rate climbs. Your face flushes. Something ancient inside you whispers, "Be careful, they are watching." That feeling has a name. And for most of human history, it kept you alive. But what if it never existed? What if the one emotion you spend half your life trying to escape never evolved in the first place? No shame, no social dread, no internal voice replaying your worst moments at 2 a.m. It sounds like freedom. But the real answer is far stranger than that. Your brain was not designed to think. It was designed to belong. That distinction matters more than almost anything else in psychology. In the 1960s, psychologist Sylvan Tompkins mapped the fundamental affects, the pre-verbal, biological emotional states humans are born with. Shame was on that list. Not learned, not culturally installed, biologically wired. It appears in infants as young as 18 months, long before language, long before anyone tells a child what is embarrassing or wrong. Tompkins argued that shame is not about guilt. Guilt is about what you did. Shame is about what you are. And that difference is everything. Now imagine removing it entirely from the evolutionary record. Go back roughly 200,000 years. Your ancestors lived in bands of 30 to 150 people. Every person in that group was essential. A hunter who took more than his share, a mother who abandoned communal duties, a man who lied about where the water was. These behaviours did not just hurt feelings, they threatened survival. The group needed a mechanism to correct dangerous selfishness without constant violence. Shame was that mechanism. Anthropologist Michael Gervin has spent decades studying the Tsimane people of Bolivia, one of the most extensively researched small-scale societies on Earth. His findings show that social reputation, directly tied to shame and its avoidance, determines access to food, mates, and protection. Strip away shame and you strip away the social glue holding the group together. Without shame, there is no reputation. Without reputation, there is no cooperation. Without cooperation, there is no civilization. Think about what that means. Every structure you live inside right now, law, currency, government, marriage, is downstream of the human need to be seen as trustworthy. The entire architecture of society is built on the threat of social exclusion, and shame is what makes that threat real inside your body. A world without shame is not a world of freedom. It is a world of 200,000 years of evolutionary dead ends. But here is where it gets strange. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio studied patients with damage to the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, the region of the brain most associated with social emotion, including shame. These patients were often highly intelligent, their reasoning was intact, but they could not feel social consequences. They made catastrophically bad decisions. Not because they lacked knowledge, because they lacked the emotional anchor that makes consequences feel real. Damasio called this the somatic marker hypothesis. Your body keeps score before your brain catches up. Shame is not weakness. It is a predictive system. It runs simulations of social rejection and fires before you act, not after. Remove it and you remove your ability to model other people's minds with any accuracy. You become, in a clinical sense, socially blind. Now reverse the thought experiment. Look at the modern world. You live in a society where shame has metastasized into something far beyond its original function. Social media has industrialized it. Every post is a quiet audition for belonging. Every metric is a public reputation score. The ancient system that evolved to manage a band of 150 people is now running continuously across a network of billions. Psychologist June Price Tangney spent her career distinguishing between healthy and toxic shame. The healthy version says, "I did something that conflicts with my values." The toxic version says, "I am fundamentally broken." The first motivates repair, the second motivates hiding. And in a world optimized for public performance, the second has become the default. Your ancestors felt shame in the eyes of people who knew them completely. You feel it in front of strangers who will never know your name. That is a system running code it was never written to handle. So what would a world without shame look like? Not freer, more isolated, more dangerous. Without the sting of social consequence, cooperation collapses. Without cooperation, complexity collapses. The cities, the medicine, the music, the writing, all of it requires people to care what other people think. The emotion you most want to escape is the one that built everything around you. Tonight, when you feel that familiar flush of heat, that impulse to disappear, remember it is 200,000 years of social architecture firing in your chest. It is ancient. It is precise.